guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this glittery glam makeup look. I used the Nude Huda Beauty Obsession palette. She sent me her Obsession palette in nude light, nude medium and nude rich. So that's what the packaging looks like if you get it like individually. So I also showed you guys how I use this palette to create this look. I used the 3 palettes to achieve this look. So the first palette that I actually used was the nude medium, which is the shade that I use as my transitional shade, and next I went ahead and take the light nude shade and I used the brown shade from the palette to dip in my crease a little bit more. Then I went into the rich palette and I took the darker shade from that palette to create an intense look on my outer V. So when I'm happy with that, I blend that in and I actually applied the lightest shade from the light medium palette, which I accidentally skipped, and I used that lightest shade to apply that on my lids. So that's the one I'm using right there, which is actually from the lightest nude palette. I don't know what was happening to my camera. As you guys can tell, it looks a little bit whitish, so I got confused whether I was filming or not. So that was the palette that I used to on my lids, and I applied the Bella Perry eyeliner on my lids to line my eyes. So far so good. What do I really think about this palette? Well, in my opinion, they're very travel friendly. The packaging is really cute and cheeky. It has that luxurious feel to it. And also another thing that I like about our palette is the fact that you can create as many looks as you like with this palette without having to reach for any other palettes. Maybe when you're going on holiday, you can use them to create as many looks as you like. And also you can actually use any of these 3 palettes. It doesn't matter if you're light or dark or whatever skin tone you've got, you can work with any of these palettes in my opinion. So you don't have to be dark to use the rich shade or rich palette in my opinion, as I said. So yeah, that's my thoughts so far, but stay tuned for my review to learn more about the palette. So yes, I applied my primer by touching. So I like this primer a lot. It's so lightweight on the skin. And I applied my foundation by Kat Von D. This is one of my favorite foundation as well. It's full coverage and I like the fact that I don't have to use a lot to achieve a full coverage look. Then I went ahead and applied the Huda Beauty concealer. Guys, if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that this is one of my holy grail concealer. This concealer is so full coverage that you don't have to apply a lot, because a little goes a long way and you get that right consistency for a concealer that you'd applied under your eye area. And recently I also reviewed the Fenty Beauty translucent powder. It's very nice on my skin as well and keeps my shine at bay. So I'm quite a huge fan of that as well. So I contoured and I like my face. Every other thing is just normal, the same old same. So yeah. So if you're looking to go for this palette, please feel free to do so, and feel free to choose any palette of your choice. So you don't have to go for nude, as I mentioned earlier, because you're light skinned. You don't have to go for rich because you're dark skinned. I like the fact that she created that kind of palette that anyone can reach for irrespective of their skin tone. And also she also created this palette to be how do I explain it, so innovative and very great thinking. Really, I love the fact that she did that. Really, hands down, she did that. I'm quite a huge fan, and the pigmentation is out of this world, just like our previous Obsession palette. Because if you actually I don't know what am I saying. So if you're a huge fan of our favorite of our previous Obsession palette, then you definitely love this palette. She did an amazing job and I am a fan. So stay tuned for my review. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the review of the new Huda Beauty Obsession palette. I've actually been using this palette before filming this tutorial because I really wanted to have the feel of the pigmentation and the quality of the eyeshadow before sharing my thoughts with you guys. Let's get started. So there are 3 shades of nude palette, and there's nude light palette, there's nude medium palette, and there's also nude rich palette right here. So depending on you, depending on the look you're going for, if you like the deep rich tone kind of look, then this is definitely for you. If you're the type that you don't want to go rich, you don't want to go light, then this is where this medium comes in. I'm just going to open that and show you guys what that looks like. This is the medium one. This is what it looks like. So this is the in-between shades of, so this is between the light shade and the darker shade in the nude range. Last but not the least nude in the collection is the light nude. This is the lightest shade of nude in the collection, and these are the shades in the palette. This is what the shades in the palette looks like. So this is for someone that is really light and wants something that goes well with their skin tone. I actually think that anyone can use any of this nude shades, so you don't need to go for the rich nude just because you have dark skin tone. You don't need to go for the nude lights just because you're lighter skin tone, just because you have lighter skin tone, in my opinion, really. But anyone of any skin tone can use any of these shades without having to, you know, say, oh, because I'm dark I have to use the darker rich tone. No, you can use any of these palettes to create as many looks as you like. I'm quite impressed with the pigmentation of this, you know, palettes. I've always been a huge fan of our Obsession palettes. If you watched my story recently, I actually reviewed our Obsession palettes, and the next day she announced this one. I actually didn't have a clue if she was going to, you know, make any nude or light nude shade from the Obsession range. I just thought I should share my thoughts about, you know, our previous Obsession palette on my, you know, Instagram story, and I was surprised that she actually announced new Obsession palettes. So yeah, I'm quite a huge fan of the previous one. So good. Do I really think this new one has, you know, pigmented or opaque as the previous one? In my opinion, I think they are of the same quality. The only difference so far, in my opinion, is the packaging, guys. The packaging of this nude Obsession is by far my favorite packaging so far. I mean, look at the packaging, guys. Look at that. I think the light is not doing justice to this, but I think this would be more, you know. Look at that, guys. The packaging, guys, the packaging for me is absolutely stunning. Look at that. In terms of her packaging, I'll definitely give her A+ because she did an amazing job with the packaging. It looks so posh and, you know, expensive in my opinion. You know, it's just my personal opinion, so don't take this personal really, but I really like the, you know, quality of this package. That with the rich Obsession palette, guys, look at that. That's just one swipe. As you can tell, I'm gonna go for a darker shade in matte. What? That's a matte shade. So that's from the rich palette. And should I go for another matte or shimmery shade? Oh my days, this shade right here has been calling my name. Oh my days, look at that, guys. The last shade is actually a duochrome shade. I love that about her when it comes to her palette. She's always giving us like that you can create as many looks as you like with this palette. Leaves that two-toned colors to it, you know. When you swatch it, it gives you another color entirely. So yeah, I'm quite a huge fan of duochrome shade. The pigmentations of this eyeshadow is absolutely nude medium. Swatch this. Oh my days, this shade felt so soft and buttery, and it has reflect golds to it. Is it just me? Oh my lord, this is so stunning. Like, guys, I mean, when looking at the palette, you wouldn't have thought that the pigmentation is this good Oh my days, the camera is not picking that up. Oh my days, look at that shade. Oh no, I don't know why the camera is not doing justice to this, but if you see these shades in real life, you will definitely be impressed. Go ahead and swatch the third shade from this palette. Should I go shimmery shade? Should I go matte? Because you've got option of shimmery shade, you've got the option of matte shade, and the one I swatched for you guys actually have a gold reflex to it. So I'm going to swatch another shade. Look at that. I am impressed with the pigmentation of this, eyeshadows, and also the fact that the colors, wow, the colors are popping. So this is the last but not the least palette from the, Nude Obsessions. So I'm going to swatch the most popular and the most talked about, shade from this palette. Just pardon my swatches because I know I'm not doing this the right way, but shades are absolutely stunning. Look at that. I actually swatched one matte, one duochrome shade and normal shimmery shade, one matte, one duochrome shade and one glitter shade, and one matte, one duochrome shade and one normal shimmery shades. I hope that makes sense. The amazing thing that I really like our Obsession palette is the fact that each palette has, matte shade, shimmery shade, duochrome shade and a glitter shade. So you've got options to choose from. You can either go matte, you can either go for a duochrome tone, you can either go for non-glitter shimmery shades as well. So far so good. I really like the palette, I like the packaging, I like the pigmentation of the eyeshadows, and I also like the fact that I've got different options to choose from. Also travel friendly because they're very lightweight and the packaging is absolutely stunning as well. From that, the most important thing that I really like about this eyeshadow palette is the fact that their pigmentation is out of this world, like absolutely stunning. As you guys can tell, I use the matte shade on my lids, and the eyeshadow that I use is very opaque and very pigmented as well. You don't really need to swipe and swipe on your palettes before you get that pigmentation you're going for. So that's another thing that I really like about this palette, and also the fact that you can actually mix and match, to create a look if you actually go for the 3 palettes, and also the fact that you can use one palette to create as many looks as you like. Is the thing that I love about this palette as well. You can use any of the palette without having to reach for any other palette as well. You've got your transitional shade, you've got your shimmery shade, and you've got your darker shade that could give you that smoky eye look. As you can tell right here, I didn't have to reach out for any other palette apart from these 3 palettes, and also I could use any of this palette without having to reach for any of the palettes, any of the little palettes, if that makes sense. That means I can use this palette on its own without having to reach for any other palette, and I can also use this palette on its own to create as many look as I like without having to reach for any other palettes as well. So yeah, and the same goes for this palettes as well. You can create as many look as you like with it as well without having to reach for any other palettes, which is what most people actually look out for when it comes to mini palette like this. You have to consider your palette being travel friendly without having to reach out for any other palettes, which in my opinion she nailed this effortlessly, like effortlessly. So, and in terms of the packaging, they are so cute. Apart from the fact that they are travel friendly, they are so cute and lush. So yeah, that's my thoughts about the Huda Beauty Nude Obsession palette. So let me know what you guys think. Have you tried it? Are you going to try it? Which of them are you willing to try? Or are you going to go for the 3 palettes? Or which of the palettes do you think would suit your skin tone better, out of the 3 palettes that I showed you guys? So yeah, that's my thoughts about the palette so far. The details of the palettes in the description box below. Feel free to check out our website, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.